Hey friends, have you ever hit that point postpartum where you realize your body is quietly begging for a little extra love and attention? I am 7 months postpartum from having our third baby, and for the first time, I feel like my body is not bouncing back the way it did with my first two. I'm not meaning physically, as of course our bodies are going to look different after having children. More so, what I mean is feeling out of balance. I really was needing to give myself a little pause to reset. Today I am taking you along for a gentle homestead self-care couple days, making nourishing NORA tea, preparing for baby goats, and reminding myself that postpartum care isn't just nice, but in these childbearing years, how it's actually very essential. As a stay-at-home mom, my heart is 100% poured into raising healthy, happy little children and keeping our marriage strong. After 5 years of marriage and 3 little ones, you'd think that that alone would fill every corner of my day. And the reality is, most days it does. Within that, though, I have begun to share small little pieces of our lifestyle here on YouTube. However, I will say at any moment, if I find that family is falling out of balance, I'm falling out of balance, marriage falling out of balance, that I need to let go of something. And that's what stepping back for these 2 weeks was for myself. During all 3 of my pregnancies, I've always been very diligent about taking care of myself, whether that's extra supplementation, just making sure I'm getting the right nutritional value. However, this week I have been hit. I had my cycle return after this third baby, and my body broke out in hives, which from my understanding after researching, it's not that uncommon for that to happen postpartum. Anyways, long of the short of it is that made me realize how much that I needed to be intentional with myself during these postpartum years. I want to take a moment to tell you guys about NORA tea. So during this last pregnancy, instead of taking a synthetic prenatal vitamin, I came across NORA tea. I took that throughout my whole pregnancy as an actual supplementation for a prenatal. I'm not going to get into all the why I didn't take a synthetic prenatal capsule, but I want to talk to you guys about NORA tea and its amazing benefits for both your pregnancy, but additionally bringing more attention to your postpartum months. NORA tea is a simple blend of 4 different herbs. We have nettle, oatstraw, red raspberry leaf, and alfalfa. Personally, I buy all these herbs in bulk and make the tea myself. If you're going to take it over a long period of time, it's going to be way more cost effective than buying something that's already pre-made and blended together. It is so simple and easy to make it at home yourself, so why not go that route? It is packed with so many vitamins and minerals to help rebuild your iron stores, which is super important after blood loss of your birth. Importantly as well, building up iron stores during your pregnancy. It is so vital that you have strong iron stores. The red raspberry leaf then works as a gentle uterine tonic to support the uterus returning to its pre-pregnancy size. After each baby, you're going to find your uterus is going to have to work a little harder and harder to retract back. This red raspberry leaf is only going to aid and assist in what your body is trying to do after you childbear. It is then known to help nourish the nervous system and support hormone balance during this wild postpartum shift. I realized that I have been great during my whole pregnancy to take this. I had an amazing pregnancy, an amazing delivery, but then I realized I just dropped off the wagon and didn't continue anything postpartum. Of course, I consume a really healthy diet, but I have come to realize that my body could have really used this extra support postpartum. As much as it's been a very challenging couple weeks for myself, to my baby wanting to be held nonstop, and anytime I would do so, it was just rubbing my hives, triggering my skin even more. It was a very challenging couple weeks, to say the least. I'm thankful that my body was giving me very subtle hints, maybe not so subtle hints, that it needs a little assistance in rebalancing. I need to work a little bit within, focus, slow down, cut away some of the stress that I had in my life, and just help to reboot my system. I want to take a little pause from today's video to tell you about membership on my channel. If you ever thought, hey, I would love to get the opportunity to ask her more a specific, direct, detailed question, whether it be anything from my lifestyle itself that you see here on the channel, or maybe something that I haven't even talked about yet, there's actually a way for you to do so. If you become a third tier member on my channel, that gives you an opportunity to ask me questions monthly. I then come out with a members only Q&A video where I can answer your questions directly. Really, it's an opportunity for us to connect a little more closely. Either way, if that's not your vibe, I'm happy that you're here. I hope that you're learning something from my channel and enjoying my content. Any day now, any day now. Well, I say any day, but really it's within a couple weeks. We're gonna start having baby goats here on the homestead, which always is a super fun time. It's bittersweet because it means our milking routine has to begin again, which also means early mornings, when we already have a baby waking us up many times in the night. So it's never easy jumping back into it, but once we get it within our rhythm and our routine, it's really not that difficult to fit in. It becomes a 30-minute task both morning and night, and split between my husband and I. I like to think that it's not that difficult. Prior to having baby goats, there's a couple things that I like to do to make sure that we are ready. And if I'm gonna be honest, it's very rare in the past years that we've actually got to this before the baby goats are born. Usually we're doing it after the fact, and it's a lot more difficult to do after they have kids. I like to shave their udders because after birth, they're outside. Our goats, they birth in the winter, so any kind of afterbirth that they have, they bleed for a few days. It'll stick to the hair on their udders. It's just really not great. It's very difficult to keep them clean because you clean them one morning, then you go to milk them again, and they are all dirty again the next day. So the more that you can do ahead of time in terms of setting them up for a cleanly afterbirth experience, it only makes you getting into your milking routine all the better. And the other thing being hoof trimming. If we can get that done before we get back into our milk routine, it is one less thing to have to deal with after we're caring for little baby goats. We're milking, we're trying to keep up on everybody's supply, we're processing in the kitchen. My days in general just get a lot busier. So if we can trim our hooves before the baby goats are born, that is fantastic. It is honestly, it's taking me like a week long to do both of these. I just take the kids outside with me and they, for the most part, just play on the snowbank. That's what I love about goats, is I can bring the kids right around the goats. The goats are so docile and chill that I've never had a problem with goats and children. I know that maybe that would be different for the male goats, but our male goat has never showed an ounce of aggression towards any of our children or ourselves. Well, guys, as always, I appreciate you guys sticking around on my channel to watch the content that I put out for you guys. If you have any questions or comments based upon this video, please ask them below. I answer just about every question that gets asked, so please don't be afraid to reach out. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much, and God willing, I'll be back here next Friday.